Welcome to licensing webinar. My name is Amir Aviles, Business Consultant Supervisor for the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection for the City of Chicago. Today's presentation will provide you the basics as it pertains to being licensed within the city limits of Chicago. If after today's course you wish to obtain more information, we encourage you to pay us a visit online at chicago.gov/BACP or in person at City Hall located 121 North LaSalle Street, 8th floor. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Our presentation today will give you an overview of what to expect from the Small Business Center. It will also provide you with the fundamentals or the one-on-ones to get started on your licensing journey. Today's webinar will allow for questions at the end, so we encourage you to leverage the chat channel when that time comes. With that, overview of the Small Business Center. The Small Business Center is located at City Hall, 121 North LaSalle Street, room 800, and is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We operate on a walk-in basis, so no appointments are necessary, and our estimated wait times, should you be looking to pay us a visit, are readily available on our business licensing website, which again is chicago.gov/BACP. At arrival, you will see a consultant at the front desk and provide them with the reason for your visit. Based on that insight, you will then be provided a ticket to meet with a business consultant at a desk. Here at the Small Business Center, we are responsible for issuing approximately 30,000 business licenses each year. License types include, but are not limited to, retail food, retail sales, personal services, and home-based businesses. And we'll talk about this more in a later slide. As an additional resource to help with your licensing journey, we also process licenses and permits online via our Chicago Business Direct website. So if you haven't had the opportunity to visit the site, I encourage you to do so. It is user-friendly, so no worries there, and creating an account is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now, as it pertains to business licensing 101. Here is some fundamental information or some good to know for you. The majority of businesses that operate in the city of Chicago will need a license of some kind. However, there are some exceptions that come into play. And what I mean by that is occupations like doctors, attorneys, or architects, to name a few, are exempt from city licensure. The reason being is that for the most part, they're regulated and licensed by the state. For a list of exempt businesses, you can visit our site or the IDFPR website. If still unsure after the fact, pay us a visit or shoot us an email at businesslicense@cityofchicago.org. We'd be more than happy to help in this regard. Trade licenses are issued by the Department of Buildings, located here at City Hall on the 9th floor. So if you're looking to attain a general contractor, electrician, plumbing, mason license, or if you are doing work that would require you to pull permits, both on residential and commercial space, the 9th floor will be the place to go. Now, earlier, we briefly touched on some of the business licenses that we offer. We will now take a deeper dive into this. Your business activity and your business will call for either a limited business license, an LBL, a regulated business license, an RBL, or a specialized license. The most common license issued is an LBL. So if you engage in retail sales, let's just say you are a boutique or a flower shop, or you do any general retail, or you're a general retail store, or if you're an administrative office, a limited business license will typically follow. And 9 out of 10 times, this license issuance will occur same day. Some businesses require more attention from the city for the safety and protection of the public, hence why we have regulated business licenses. Among those businesses, to name a few, are home occupation. So if you're operating a business out of your home, home repair. So if you're doing small home repair projects that would not require you to pull permits, such as, for example, fixing a doorknob or painting, you'd be fine with getting a regulated business license and not a general contractor license for the 9th floor. That is the Department of Buildings. If you are a hotel or a long-term care facility or a residential real estate developer, again, these are just a few examples of those businesses that would require a regulated business license. License type determination will be made at submission of application. So just make note of that. And lastly, we have specialized licenses. Uh, Under these licenses fall retail food, liquor, tobacco, just to name a few. And these are considered specialized licenses because they do require additional inspections before the license gets issued. Therefore, these licenses are not same day issuance. Inspections required could be with the Department of Health, the Department of Fire, or the Department of Finance. So by now you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I get started? What do I need to attain my business license? Well, first and foremost, you need to decide whether you are applying as a sole proprietor or a legal entity. By legal entity, we mean a corporation, a limited liability company, or a partnership, to name a few. More on this in our following slide. Next, what's the activity of your business? You will need to clearly determine what you're going to be selling as a service or a product, and you need to be able to clearly define this to us so that we can determine the best course of action at the time of your consultation. Once that is in order and you are at your consultation, we will submit your application, and the stage to follow will be a zoning review. If you're looking to operate your business out of a brick and mortar, a zoning review will be required to determine whether that business falls under the zoning map of Chicago. For that reason, you are encouraged to check whether the address you are looking at meets the zoning standards prior, again, that's prior to signing a lease or making some sort of payment for the site or the business location. Once zoning is good to go and payment for the license has been made, if there are any inspections required, payment of license will initiate that process. Now, please note that inspections can take anywhere from 30 to 60 days, as time is needed to both get the results and go through them. Once all standards have been satisfied for license issuance, then your license will be issued. We can either send it to you via US mail, or uh, we can arrange so that you pick up your license here with us. And if that's the option that you choose to go, where it's you come into our facility and you pick it up, we do have a selfie station up and running for you to celebrate this amazing accomplishment. And finally, most licenses renew on a biannual basis. There are a couple that do not. For example, tobacco, those renew annually. So that's that as it pertains to business license application stages. So as briefly touched on, you need to decide whether you are applying as a sole proprietor or a legal entity. If you are going to apply as a sole proprietor, you will need to register your assumed name, that is, you're doing business as, with the Cook County Records Office, and that is to ensure that you are permitted to use that name per availability. Operating under a name taken, well, in essence, what you're doing is you could potentially be opening up yourself for legal action. Now, when choosing location, it's not just about where it's going to be, but also the square footage, as it can impact the cost of a license. For example, retail food licenses are based on retail food license fees, are based on square footage of the facility. So you want to be conscious of this. And as brought up, you want to be very specific and detailed about the type of activity your business will be conducting, and be ready to share it during your consultation. A valid ID will be required from all applicants. And if you are applying as a legal entity, that is an LLC or a corporation, you will need to have readily available your state file number, which can be obtained through the Secretary of State. If you are registered in a state outside of Illinois, you will need to register your entity as a foreign entity with the state of Illinois. And for that, you can always visit the Secretary of State website at saberdriveillinois.com, or visit them in person at 69 West Washington Street. We will also need your FEIN number, which can be acquired through the IRS. And if you're conducting retail or wholesale sales, you will need an IDOR number, which you can acquire with the Illinois Department of Revenue in person at 555 West Monroe, or by visiting their website at revenue.state.il. Now, as previously brought out, all brick and mortar business license applications undergo a zoning review. That being said, before you make a financial commitment, we encourage you to first check and see if the location you are applying for allows for the business you are looking to conduct. Don't assume that because you're taking over an already established business, you are in the clear. We would encourage you to either visit us or send us an email with the location address so that we can have our zoning team review that address and ensure that the business activity allowed or that the business activity you're looking to conduct is allowed at that specific location. If you wish to provide us with multiple addresses, we'd be more than happy to also consider those in our response. So once your application has been submitted and approved with zoning, you will then head over to the cashier window and make payment. If the license type requires inspections, payment will kick them off and your application will undergo that process. If it doesn't, chances are your license will be issued and printed the day of. Now, in regards to inspections, the Department of Finance will do a debt check of money owed to the city, and this could include parking tickets, water bills, or things along that line. If money is owed, you will need to clear that debt in full or get on a payment plan and provide proof. If you're doing food, your license will require a health inspection to ensure you are in compliance with the standards set out by the city. If your license type falls under tobacco, children's facilities, or liquor, among others, these will require a fingerprint-based background check for any officer who will be listed on the license. Your license type could also call for the Department of Buildings or Fire to do an inspection. An example of a license that would require this would be a public place of amusement. Once all inspections have been completed and approved, it is at that point in time that we are finally able to issue and print your license. Now, when you visit us in person, what can you expect? Again, at arrival, you will see a consultant at the front desk and provide them the reason for your visit. Based on that insight, you will then be provided a pre-application to complete, also known as a business information sheet, and a ticket to meet with a business consultant. Once at a desk, the business consultant will confirm information and collect additional information needed to generate an application. If the application is approved for payment, that is, if it's approved for zoning, if it's a brick and mortar location, then you will be able to pay for the license. If no other inspections are required, then you can walk out with the license the same day. If additional inspections are required, then the business consultant will inform you of what to expect, and what the process is to be able to attain full approval for license issuance. At that point in time, once you've worked out the requirements, again, you can either have the license mailed out to you to your business location, or you can stop by City Hall 8th floor and get that and for pickup. Now, if you choose to apply online via our Chicago Business Direct site, you will be prompted to register so that a user profile can be created. You will register, you will again register and create a profile, and only one user profile is allowed per person. And so you want to make sure that you read the instructions carefully so as to ensure that you have created a user profile that is compliant. You will be required to complete an email and photo ID verification to be granted access to the online licensing services. And then from there, you will be able to start the application process online. Among some of the many services you can complete online once registered are you're able to create a license for a location. You're also able to, let's hypothetically say you already have your business established and you're looking to create another location, you will be able to get that process initiated through the online site as well. If you're updating ownership, so let's say you're updating who you want tied to your business, you will be able to update ownership and officers online. You can also renew your license, and if you're looking to close or cancel your license, this is another option that you are able to do online. Please note that when applying online for a license, there is a $25 deposit requirement, which will get applied toward the total cost of your business license once completed. And this fee is not refundable. So be sure to do your due diligence prior to submitting your application. And with that, for additional information, feel free to pay us a visit online at chicago.gov/business licensing, or in person, as mentioned, at 121 North LaSalle Street, room 800. Again, we're open from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. No appointments are necessary. If you wish to email us with inquiries, or if you're looking to determine if a particular location you're looking at, if the activity that you're looking to conduct is allowed, you can shoot us an email, and that can be at businesslicense@cityofchicago.org. If you create a profile, if you register to be able to do to create a profile online via the Chicago Business Direct website, and you have questions about that service in particular, you can email Chicago Business Direct at cityofchicago.org. And again, as a reminder, if you are looking to pay us a visit, you can check the wait times via our site at chicago.gov/business licensing. And so at this point in time, what we can go ahead and do is we will open it up for questions.
You have a few questions in the chat box.
Okay, let's take a look here.
And it looks like one in the Q&A box.
All right, so one of the questions that I see here is how long is the process once you apply? Um, it really depends on the business license type. Again, some business license types, you could get your license issued same day. Others, again, if let's hypothetically say you're looking to acquire a license that has to do with tobacco or that has to do with a children's facility, those have to go through inspections, and so those could require again, the time frame for that could be anywhere between 30 to 60 days, depending on how complex the interaction is. Um, can we apply for IDOR number online? So your IDOR number can be applied at with the Illinois Department of Revenue. That's not something that we would do here at the city, but you are able to apply online at revenue.state.il.us. Let's see here.
Are you in the Q&A box or the chat box? Because it looks like the Q&A box is building up now. Hello?
Yeah, the Q&A. Let's take a look at the Q&A.
Okay.
Do city licenses determine whether or not needing a state license? So it really depends. Again, some industries are not don't need to be licensed with the city of Chicago. And for a complete list of that, you can visit the IDFPR website, or our website as well will give you specifics as to what industries don't need to be required with with the city of Chicago. So can you talk about sole prop home-based businesses that are not retail, wholesale, but offer business services like freelancer or consultant? Yeah. So if that's the type of business that you are entertaining, you do need to get licensed with the city of Chicago. If you're doing, again, consulting here at within the city. Let's see here. What if you want to start a mobile business? Probably need a little bit more information regarding to what we mean by mobile business. Is this vehicular or like a cell phone mobile. Um, if I had a business before and closed it, may I reopen the same type of business with the same business name and EIN number? So you'll have to make sure that your business, if it was registered with the state of Illinois, if this is a legal entity, you will have to make sure that you are um, in good standing with the state, as we will require documentation that shows that. And if all that is in order, both your legal entity is up to date with the state and your EI number is still active, then we would be able to look into establishing that same not in essence the same license, but creating a new license as the one that you previously had probably, it's no longer active. Let's see here. Do I need a business license to start a fingerprint business? Am I able to start it out of my home? Let's see. Yeah, so you would do that with Illinois Department of Professional Regulations. So they would be the ones that would assist you regarding that specific business that you're looking to conduct. Let's see here. Some good questions. Thank you. Can you have to? Let's see. Do you need a license to be a motivation speaker and life coach? Yeah, so that would be a more of like an administrative type industry, and so for that, you would need it if you're doing if it's out of your home. Okay. Does a private group fitness center need a business license? If so, what kind? Yeah. So if you are conducting a fitness center within the city of Chicago, you would need a license here with us. More than likely, that would fall under a regulated business license. Let's see here. I have businesses. I have a business that will have various functions. Will I have to apply for multiple licenses for the same brick and mortar? It really depends on whether the activity overlaps. And so for that, we would actually encourage you to, again, shoot us an email or visit us here at City Hall so that we can kind of discuss specifics around what those functions are going to be. For food services, do you have to submit a floor plan stamped by an architect? It really depends, but for the most part, we will ask for some sort of floor plan. Well, health will require it just to kind of determine where everything is set up within the business. But that one really depends on um, the location. So especially if there hasn't been a previous food license for that location, chances are we probably will. Uh, for locations, is zoning a part of the licensing or is that in addition to? Yeah, so any license that any license application that we submit will undergo a zoning review. So regardless of the type of business and activity you're looking to conduct, it will automatically kick off a zoning review. On the BACP website, why does it say 9 webinars? Not really too familiar with the webinars and the 6 to graduate. That I think that question can be followed up at a later time. Do local ward offices offer information for business within their ward? They're not going to have the specifics that we do here at the at the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. And so if you're looking to, in essence, if your goal is to get licensed, we would encourage you to, again, visit us or shoot us an email so that we can further discuss that. How do I check the status of a license I applied for online? So you should be able to see that via the Chicago Business Direct website. Again, if you need some additional assistance with that, you can always shoot the Chicago Business Direct email. You can shoot us an email at that email address, and we'd be more than happy to help you out. Would a restaurant business need to be fully set up and ready to open before the health inspector comes out? Yeah, so before the health inspector goes out, basically you don't wanna have any food or any items that you're gonna, be distributing on premise, but you wanna hypothetically have it prepped up as if you were gonna be ready to open, same day, right? So you wanna make sure that um, it's in good standing, and we can provide you a checklist of all the, when you come in and you apply for your restaurant license, we'll provide you a list of things that the health inspector is going to look for, basically like a do's and don'ts for your inspection. How does this process differ from for a nonprofit? It all really depends on what type of nonprofit business and activity we're looking to do. So probably more specifics on that are going to be needed. And again, you can always shoot us an email or visit us. We'd be more than happy to discuss what type of nonprofit you're looking to do and see if license is required. Okay. Do you need a business license if you are selling at a farmer's market? Typically, you wouldn't. You have to get with the event organizer for that. We are not our department, but the Department of Health does offer cottage food licenses. So that's the route you're looking to take. You can always visit our website, and more information can be provided there. What is the price range for licenses? So your LBO, you're looking at your limited business license, you're looking at 250. And then, as far as a regulated business license goes, it's also 250. Specialized licenses could vary. Again, if you are a food establishment, right, that's the license fee for that is based on square footage. But again, those ranges, those would be the ranges for specialized licenses could vary. Let's see here. Is business license needed to be an owner, occupant, landlord, two flat building? Is business license needed? No. Let's see. Internet is unstable. Will this recording be available later? Yes, it will be. Yep, it's recorded, so it'll be available if anyone wishes to review it. Do you need a license to have a virtual assisting business from my home? It depends. But again, for more information on that, shoot us an email, stop by. What type of license should I obtain? Okay. All right. So mobile, I operate without brick and mortar. I do photography, videography, and etc. Yeah. So, again, for that specific business, chances are you probably will have to get licensed here with us if you're doing photography and videography, just because there's administrative work that goes behind that. And so even if you don't have a brick and mortar, we can license you depending on from your home. Yeah, so home-based business applications you are unable to do online. Those you would actually have to come in person, and that's just because there's we have to take a deeper look into the type of home business that you're looking to do. So how do I know if the location is zoned to be a fitness center? Can we check before applying for a business license? Yeah, so you can actually shoot us an email with the location address, and we'd be more than happy to look at zoning for you. You can also do it on your own via our website. There is a hyperlink that will take you to the zoning guidelines, but it is a little complex to use. So if you just find it easier to send us the address, we could definitely look into that for you. Okay, let's see here. Let me go to the webinar chat really quick. I've been at the Q&A for some time, and I'm sure there's questions there as well. All right, let's see. For a final health inspection for a shared kitchen, do you need to have the equipment in the kitchen? Um, yeah, you will, just because they're going to want to see how that shared kitchen operator is going to operate the space. Um, but I mean, that question is kind of maybe missing a few more details, right? Are you like a share kitchen user? Are you the operator? You can always email our the Department of Food, and that's at cdphfood at cityofchicago.org. Again, that's cdphfood at cityofchicago.org. Let's see here. Okay. Do consultants require a business license? Yes. Um, if I have an invention, okay. Sorry, questions here are skipping a bit. Um, where on your website is the exempt business list for business licenses? I don't have the specific details on that, but if you go on there, you'll be able to pull it up. You can also visit the IDFPR website for a complete list. Um, is the IDOR the same as the Illinois Department of Revenue account number? Those two numbers should kind of go hand in hand. Yes. Okay. Where do you go for license if the business will be in the south suburbs? So yeah, if you're not operating within city limits, we don't license you. If you're operating outside city limits, you would have to, go to that specific village or suburb for information on that. If I plan to have a t-shirt making business out of my home, do I need a license? Yes. Yeah, you definitely need a license if that's the type of work that you're going to be doing. Again, home based licenses, those are strictly done here at City Hall 121 North LaSalle Street, room 805, just because we do have to go into specifics regarding the activity that you're going to be conducting. Um, Great questions, everyone. Thank you. Okay. I'm looking to open a gaming location. What certifications do I need? So, if this is going to be at a brick and mortar, you're going to have to get licensed. Not cert. it wouldn't be a certification, it would be a license. You can always come in for that, or again, visit our Chicago Business Direct website. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, this concludes our webinar. If you have any follow-up questions, you can send an email to bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org or businesslicense@cityofchicago. We thank you so much for attending, and we hope you have a great day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ari, for today's presentation. If you are a member of the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program and would like to learn more about our program, please visit chicago.gov/business BACP certificate. Again, that's chicago.gov/BACP certificate. To learn more about our upcoming webinars, please visit chicago.gov/business education. Again, that's chicago.gov/business education. Thank you for your attendance today and see you next time.